Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be at the first, not ever, but the first of our 6 city tour, the Freedom Roadshow. At this point in time in history is like the perfect time to start this. I want to thank. Is anybody on the road to Rooted listening to my morning show at all? All right. Thank you guys so much for that. It's been a long, long, arduous trip, and everything's kind of coming to fruition, coming to a head. I hope everybody feels good about where they're positioned as far as getting their assets in their own possession. Does anybody love silver as much as I love silver? Who has more silver than they care to discuss? Who keeps buying silver every time they have another 50 cents in their pocket? Me too. My wife hates my silver because where do you put it? Where do you put it all? So I want to quickly run down the 10 reasons that I personally think silver is the best buy in the entire world right now, by far. And I wrote down these 10 things, and I'm like, I've been doing this so long, 22 years I've been fighting this fight against the bankers. The bankers have suppressed the price of silver for 170 years since the Opium Wars, and it's insane. But why I like silver, number one, it's a standalone asset. There's no third party. You don't have to worry that your bank's going to be in business. You don't have to worry that the FDIC, which has no money, insures your bank account. You don't have to worry if the government says, like the government in Canada, we're going to confiscate all your assets if you support the freedom trucker movement. You don't have to worry about that because it's in your pocket. You got to have a gun to protect yourself, but at the same time, that is a standalone asset. It's in your pocket. You don't have to worry about the stupidity of everybody else. That's the number one. Number two, it is both a monetary metal and an industrial metal. Gold is great as monetary metal. Russia's finding that out right now. $650 billion worth of foreign reserves held by Russia have been frozen. What's the first thing that Putin did? Let's up our gold count. Let's get as much gold as possible because everything else can be frozen, but they can't freeze the gold if they have it in their own possession. They stopped all gold exports and they made their citizens, they took away a 25% VAT that they had to pay. And they said, if the West wants to be pissed off at us, fine. They can lock up foreign reserves, but they can't lock up our gold. We have it, it's in their own possession. Not only that, but that's silver as well. Silver's been a monetary metal for 2,500 years, a lot longer than gold has been a monetary metal. Gold became a monetary metal when the bankers decided, yes, we're going to have gold instead of silver. And they control the gold. The people decided that they want silver as money. That's a big thing. So there's two reasons to buy silver. One, for the monetary side, but number two is industrial. Who here has a cell phone? Raise your hand. That's 1/100th of an ounce of silver in that cell phone. There's 7 billion cell phones out there right now. That's a lot of silver. How much of that silver at $25 an ounce, how many people would melt down their cell phone to get that silver out? And you'll get your, what is that, 100th of $25. Well, there you go. It's so much more expensive to melt down a phone to get the silver out. So people just chuck them. They just throw away their cell phones, and they're throwing away silver. Who has solar panels in their house? Anybody? Solar panels take up 110 million ounces of silver every year, over 15% of the silver that's mined every year. And this is separate from the monetary side. Silver is used in almost every electronic device because it's the best conductor of electricity. There is right now about 60%, 55 to 60% of all silver that's mined every year is used in the industrial side, which leaves what? 40% for the monetary side. But that's not all. They make silverware still. A lot goes into silverware. Even photography still uses silver. Most of it's used in like a camera now is all the digital stuff. The camera has silver in it. There is silver used in so many things. Right now, it's about 80% of all silver mined goes into something other than money. The very moment that people change their mind and say, hey, silver's money, there's not going to be enough for anybody at $25 an ounce. There will be at $2,500 an ounce. There'll be more, but there's not going to be enough. Number three, the global supply deficit. We had a supply deficit from, I think it was like 1906 until about 10 years ago, meaning we consumed more than we pulled out of the ground. There used to be 60 billion ounces of silver above ground. Now maybe there's 6. So 90% of that silver is gone. Where'd it go? It's in garbage heaps, landfills, exploded in smart bombs, and in water filters. It's in everything. Silver's in everything. So starting this year, they're predicting another supply deficit. You know, there's 6 billion ounces of silver in the world, and there's 6 billion ounces of gold. You'd think the price ratio would be 1-to-1, right? There's 6 billion of each. Actually, I think it'd be better than 1-to-1 because silver's more important than gold. Everybody needs silver to function in everyday life. If you like your cell phone, it won't work the same without silver in it. So the gold-silver ratio right now stands at 78-to-1. And it should be at least 1-to-1. So if you like gold, you're going to love silver. It's going to go up 78 times what gold's going to go up once it's freely traded. It's not freely traded yet, though. You got to keep that in mind. Right, Mark? It's not freely traded. Soon it will be. I think it will be. And, by the way, do you think the government has created more money since 1980? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, last 18 months, they've just basically opened the full spigot. They're making not only money, not only fiat money, not only derivatives, but everything is a replacement for money. Since 1980, silver is trading at 1/2 of its all-time high. Is that crazy, or is it just me, or is there something wrong with that? And we know what's wrong. It's the criminal banksters rigging the price every day, every trade. Silver's been suppressed for 170 years, and we've documented it. And it started with the opium wars in China. What happened was the English loved the teas and silks from China in the 1850s. And they would import them all, but the Chinese were on a silver standard, so they'd have to pay with silver. So all the English silver was going right to China. And they got pissed off, and they created a company called Hong Kong Shanghai Bank. Does anybody know what they're called today? Very good, HSBC. That's the same bank that has been in the news a lot for money laundering and drug running, you name it. These banks are so much more criminal than the crypto world. Not to get into cryptos yet, but HSBC, what they did is they got the Chinese addicted to opium. This is how evil these people are. They got the Chinese addicted to opium, and they made them pay for the opium in silver. All the silver flowed back into England. Just horrific. And that's what started the opium wars in the 1850s. And then it went on to the Pilgrim Society. Has anybody heard of the Pilgrim Society? I don't talk about them much. Pilgrim Society is a bunch of rich people who got together in 1904, I believe it was, and decided to rig the price of silver and keep the price low so nobody knew about silver. And it includes almost everybody you think would be involved. The heads of state, presidents, Queen of England, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They're all members of the Pilgrim Society. And they're kind of behind the scenes. And then you have in 1971, when we went off the gold standard, the creation of the COMEX and the CFTC. COMEX is a futures and options trading floor. They don't trade the real thing, but it's the only place on planet Earth that the price of silver is determined. And they trade over 100 billion ounces of electronic silver every year. to fake the price of silver, to make it look like that silver's not worth much. And the CFTC is the regulator that runs cover for them. It's terrible, but it's a great reason to buy silver now, because how long can this go on? 170 years so far, but this is before, all this shit happened before the internet. Now the internet's out there and we know the truth, and we're spreading the truth. How many people know that the banks are rigging the price of silver? Raise your hand. You see? And we're going to be traveling around for 6 different cities, and I guarantee you everybody's going to be raising their hand. Why? Because of the internet. They can't hide. Yes! They can't hide anymore. Anyway, the other reasons the dollar, as defined by the Constitution, is, again, 371.25 grams of fine silver. That's about 0.77 ounces. And the USA has completely opened the floodgates as far as money printing. Like I said, Thursday night, $1.5 trillion had to be given to the banks on Thursday night, just for them to last to the next morning. Yeah, well, hopefully you take your money out of the banks. And then we got number 9 is Bank of America has borrowed 800 million ounces of silver and sold it into the market, and now they are short and they have no idea how they're going to pay that back. I think I know they're going to claim force majeure because of the war. That's why every news station saying, the war, we have to get in the war. How many times have we heard that bullshit from these talking heads? Get in the war, get in the war. And ultimately, this is all about faith and confidence in fiat money. And around the world, people are losing confidence. And they should have never had the confidence. There's nothing that backs the US dollar. There's nothing that backs the yuan, the ruble, all that other currency. And it's all coming to a head now. And it's really interesting. I think a big thing will be when China makes a move on Taiwan. What's going to happen then? Then Biden has 2 wars to fight. True. Anyway, so I wrote a song about this, and this is what I gave you that long, boring list of reasons I buy silver, but it's the reason I got into this game 22 years ago was to spread the news that it's being rigged, and it continues to be rigged, and if you're smart, you'll make the move and load up on as much silver as you can, because this won't go on forever, and the more information that's out there, the more people know, which is everybody now, it's going to end. So I wrote a song called Pay Me My Silver Now. Thought I heard the people say, pay me my silver now. Tomorrow's another trading day. Pay me my silver now. Watching the COMEX prices rise. Pay me my silver now. JP Morgan naked shorts the high. Pay me my silver now. Everybody, pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. CFTC, you better shut it down. Pay me my silver now. There's people rising up in every town like Sonoma. Pay me my silver now. The Gala boys, they're in the know. Pay me my silver now. Tinfoil hats at the silver show. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. But the nails you every time you try. Pay me my silver now. The COMEX battle in the forgot the line. Pay me my silver now. Hey! Pay me! Pay me! Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. The banking boys melt that witch. Pay me my silver now. Deliver those bars and melt that bitch. Save me my silver now. Now is the time to free our land. Pay me my silver now. Silver in my pocket, paper silver in the can. Pay me my silver. Now, all right. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. Yes! It has been such a long road. 22 years of fighting this fight. And we have never been closer.